Hey, it's Josh. Do you remember how we said a router is like a post office directing data to where it needs to go? If you don't remember, check out my video, What is Networking? The Basics for Beginners. For those that have seen my previous video, imagine not just one network, but millions of networks joined together to form an entire web of networks, all sharing letters and packages with one another. Yeah, that, my friend, is the internet. And the key question I aim to answer today is, how do all these networks work together to form the internet? Well, let's break it down. Let's begin with a core concept that deals with networks connecting to networks. The internet is exactly that. The internet is just that, a bunch of networks connected together, a network of networks. For example, each individual office or home that has a network has its own little post office. This post office handles all the handoff and deliveries. But to send information beyond your home network or your business, it needs a little help from other networks. Think of it like a chain of post offices. Your local post office can't deliver a package to another country all by itself. It hands the letter off to regional hubs and then to international hubs, eventually reaching its destination. The internet works the same way, and instead of letters, it's sending data packets. And those data packets are actually traveling through routers. Next, let's introduce a new topic, internet service providers, or commonly referred to as ISPs. Your internet service provider, or ISP, is like a massive regional post office. This local office connects your network to the rest of the world. More simply, it's the bridge between your network and the internet. And you might be thinking, well, how do they work together? Well, internet service providers connect to even larger networks. These are known as the backbone, and they are the superhighways of the internet. Ultimately, they link countries and continents together. I mentioned the term web earlier. By now, I guess it seems a second nature that web refers to the internet or browsing or surfing online. But what I really mean is a web is in a spider web. All these networks connected together form a spider web-like connection. In addition, I also mentioned backbone. And yes, the backbone is, again, a super highway for the internet. But even more, this backbone is made up of massive data centers. And those physical connections between continents are made up of physical cabling that is underground or underwater. Without these super connections, your favorite website hosted halfway across the world wouldn't be accessible. And so with this massive connections of networks that form a spider web of sorts, to include those super highways known as backbones, this interconnected web allows people to share all sorts of information. And the best part, it's near instantaneous. A message sent from a computer in Texas could be received in Japan in a matter of seconds. Of course, thanks to this spider web of networks. And so this is to mention that you have a role in this massive web. Albeit your home network is just one small piece of this massive system, but without it, your connection to the global web wouldn't be possible. To recap, the internet isn't just one single thing. It is a massive web of interconnected networks. This includes internet service providers and major backbones that enable it all. It's like millions of post offices working together to keep it all connected and operating. Now, all that information is fine and well, but that begs the question, how does your letter, your data, actually find its destination in this massive web? Well, that's where IP addresses come in.